This one step changed my art completely, so don't skip this video.
Someone asked me about this thumbnail topic in the comments under one of my videos.
So let's chat about thumbnails, focusing on the color thumbnails.
How I use them in my process and why they are so important. A thumbnail is a quick, small sketch that's usually just a few centimeters wide and tall. Thumbnails are super helpful for finding the best ideas and compositions for your artwork. Most artists use thumbnails to plan their work. Don't spend more than 3 to 5 minutes on each sketch. Anything longer than 5 minutes is too much. There are a few types of thumbnails, and here are some examples. Composition thumbnail, idea generation. This is where you brainstorm different composition ideas, viewpoints, and more. Value thumbnails, those help you plan out strong composition, figure out lighting, and set up the mood. Color thumbnail, use those to experiment with different color choices and variations. Remember, it is important to create more than just a couple of thumbnail sketches. You need to really explore your ideas. Often the best and most original ideas are hiding in the corners of your mind. The best way to find them is by getting rid of not so great ones with your initial thumbnails. For different projects, I usually create anywhere from 4 to 12 thumbnail sketches. For a book cover project, I try to come up with 12 possible ideas at least. Think of thumbnails like a roadmap or a plan for your final artwork. They're like a recipe that guides you step by step to create the perfect dish with as few mistakes as possible.
In my own process, I don't use all thumbnail types that are out there, although that might change in the future since I know it is really important.
Currently, I use idea thumbnails to quickly brainstorm my concepts and find the composition that really works. I often create color thumbnails before I dive into the actual art. This saves me from spending hours refining colors in the final piece. Usually, the color thumbnail comes after you've already settled on the final sketch and composition. For a picture book, I even colorize all of my thumbnail ideas right away. This helps me pick the idea I like the most and ensures that I don't forget what I had in mind. It's my personal trick since I can better envision the final outcome. Color thumbnails are great for experimenting with different color combinations. Since I don't always create value thumbnails, I use color thumbnails to also decide on the mood, time of the day, and lighting. Even in those small sketches, you can identify what's effective and what needs improvement. This tiny step can save you a lot of time when you move on to your final artwork. If you're finding it tough to come up with more than 1 or 2 composition ideas and you're feeling stuck, don't worry, you can do a bit more research. Look for photos that might spark interesting ideas. I often search for pictures or other artists' works and analyze their compositions. This helps me identify what I could do better on my own artwork. Remember, you are not copying, you're just giving your mind some inspiration to keep working.
In this book by Procreate, a few artists showing their process, how they work on the illustration and art. So we will take a look because they are actually also sharing their thumbnails, and it is really interesting to see that almost every artist use them. Okay, a lot of artists use them, especially the ones that are more experienced. So I think that it is important to see and to learn more about this topic.
So let's talk about the first artist that uses thumbnails for their work is Izzy Burton. She is one of my favorite artists out there. I really love her work. She is really amazing. Her illustrations are like fairy tales and like you wanna know what's going on there and to see more. And I love the color palettes she uses. In this lesson, she's working on this illustration. And here she is searching for idea, working on the sketch and everything and explaining. And here are the color thumbnails that she did for this artwork. As you see, she tried different moods, different lighting, different daytimes to just see what works best for this art piece. As you see, that helps a lot to see what you wanted to do before jumping into the actual artwork and doing all of the work and not liking it. And this is the final art piece. The next artist is Evelyn Sogard. She is really good in what she is doing and amazing with the lighting. She didn't show any thumbnails, but she did research different colors for the outfit for this girl, for the character, and I see this like a color thumbnail for me.
And this is the final art piece. I think we all know Max Olejny. He is like famous for his brushes, Maxpacks, that I also have and mentioned that in my previous videos. I use them in every day in my professional and personal work, and he's really amazing in what he's doing. And I know I'm saying this about all of the artists in here, but I'm a huge fan of them. So yeah, in here he's working on this piece, and we can see his line thumbnails, like different ideas. Here he's working on the color thumbnails, searching for different color modes, so you can see how important this is. Even those famous illustrators, like, they are all doing this because it really helps your workflow, so you should definitely do that. And this is the final art piece that he did. If you don't know him, you should definitely check his work out and his brushes set. I will link them below.